Welcome to the sleepy underworld, a place where romance blooms, magic sparkles, and timeless fairy tales are reimagined for the dreamers of today. From heart-stirring romances to spellbinding adventures, every story is a soothing escape into a realm of love, wonder, and charm. So curl up, press play, and let us carry you away to the land of dreams. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. We'd love to know in what part of the world you are watching and what is your favorite tip for a good night's sleep. Thank you for watching and enjoy the video. Wishes in a jar. The lavender-scented moisturizer lingered on my fingertips as I smoothed out Carter's wish paper, its cotton-soft texture catching slightly against my work-roughened hands. The translucent purple paper, decorated with tiny silver stars, had been Carter's special choice at the craft store. Perfect for magic, he declared with the absolute certainty that only a 6-year-old could possess. "This one's extra special, Mama," he whispered, his minty, fresh breath ghosting across my cheek as he carefully dropped the paper into our wish jar. The glass caught the warm glow of his constellation nightlight, creating a dance of tiny prisms across his bedroom walls. The jar had become our sanctuary of dreams in the past year, half full with dozens of carefully folded wishes. The evening air carried the sweet perfume of night-blooming jasmine through his cracked window. Our modest fifth-floor apartment might not have been much, but living next to Mrs. Santos's prized flower garden had blessed us with this small luxury. "They're all special, sweetheart," I murmured, running my fingers through his bath-damp curls that smelled of honey vanilla shampoo, the one he insisted made him smell like cookies. What had started as a way to help him process his feelings after his father left had evolved into something more profound, our private magic that transformed tears into possibilities. I pulled a fresh sheet of star-speckled paper out, cool and smooth against my palm. "What should Mama wish for tonight?" Carter's deep brown eyes sparkled in the soft light. "Something big. Something amazing." The layoff notice burned in my pocket, its crisp edges a reminder of how quickly security could crumble. "Company restructuring effective immediately," echoed in my mind like a cruel mantra. My fingers trembled as I held the paper, but I steadied them before Carter noticed. 8 weeks of savings stood between us and uncertainty, with rent due in just 3 weeks. The scratch of my pen against paper felt unnaturally loud as I wrote, "A way to keep our home filled with love and laughter." Each letter flowed in my best handwriting, a prayer disguised as a wish, vague enough not to worry Carter, but specific enough to hold my desperate hope. That night, after tucking Carter beneath his rocket ship comforter and ensuring his worn soft teddy bear was securely in his arms, I retreated to my room. The hardwood floor creaked beneath my feet as I settled cross-legged on my bed, cradling the wish jar in my lap. The glass felt cool and weighted, its surface decorated with tiny raised stars that Carter had insisted on adding with glass paint, creating our own private constellation. One by one, I unfolded his wishes, each crisp sound echoing in the quiet room. Moonlight streamed through my gauzy curtains, illuminating his childish handwriting. "I wish to be an astronaut and see the whole Earth from space and count all the stars. I wish Mama never has to cry when she thinks I'm sleeping because the walls are too thin. I wish we could stay in our apartment forever, because it's where all our memories are and where I learned to ride my bike in the hallway. I wish for someone to love Mama the way she deserves, someone who makes her laugh like she does when we have pillow fights." Tears welled up and spilled over as I read, one perfect droplet falling into the jar. As it hit the bottom, something extraordinary happened. The tear caught the moonlight and seemed to multiply, creating a cascade of shimmer that filled the jar with a pearl-like luminescence. I blinked hard, convinced exhaustion was playing tricks on my eyes. But as I went to close the jar, a warm breeze swept through the room, despite the closed windows. It carried the scent of jasmine, my namesake flower, mixed with something else, something that reminded me of starlight and possibility. The air wrapped around me like a gentle embrace, carrying the faintest whisper of wind chimes from somewhere distant. The magic unfolded the very next morning. Mrs. Santos caught me by the mailboxes, her silver hair catching the sunlight as she practically danced with excitement about her brother Antonio's new marketing firm downtown. They needed someone with exactly my experience. Then came the message from Thomas Rivera, my old college friend, about an amazing project with great pay and flexible hours. The property manager called about a rent reduction program, and my struggling Toyota suddenly purred to life after Carter patted its hood and whispered, "Be nice to Mama, please. We need you." But the real magic revealed itself when I met Jacob Wyman at Antonio's firm. His hazel eyes held flecks of gold that danced when he smiled, creating the same warmth as Carter's nightlight. During my interview, he didn't just see my portfolio. He saw me and understood the story behind every carefully crafted campaign and community initiative. The job offer came with a salary that made my hands tremble as I signed the contract. But Jacob turned out to be more than my new boss. He was a single father to Luna, a creative 6-year-old who shared Carter's capacity for wonder. Our families intertwined naturally, like stars forming a new constellation. Weekend playdates evolved into family dinners, where the aroma of Jacob's homemade pasta sauce filled my small kitchen, mixing with children's laughter and soft jazz. Luna turned my refrigerator into an art gallery while Carter transformed our living room into a space station. And Jacob filled the spaces we hadn't even realized were empty. One evening, as we sat on my small balcony watching the sunset paint the sky in amber and rose, Jacob's warm hand found mine, his fingers slightly rough from weekend woodworking projects fitting perfectly between my own. The touch sent electricity dancing up my arm and settling somewhere near my heart. "Luna asked me something interesting today," he said softly, the dying sunlight catching those gold flecks in his eyes. "Oh." My voice barely rose above a whisper. "She wanted to know if we could be a real family, all 4 of us. She said it feels like we're missing puzzle pieces that finally found one another." My heart performed a complicated gymnastic routine. "What did you tell her?" "I told her that some of the best families are the ones we choose for ourselves." His thumb traced patterns on my palm that sent shivers down my spine. "And I'd choose this. Choose you and Carter every single time." That night, after Jacob and Luna left, their warmth lingering in our apartment like a favorite song, Carter pulled out the wish jar. The glass caught the light differently now, seeming to hold shadows and starlight in equal measure. "Mama, look," he gasped, his voice filled with wonder. The jar was glowing with a soft, golden light that pulsed like a heartbeat. As we watched, breathless, Carter reached in and pulled out one of his old wishes. The paper had transformed into something ethereal, like starlight given form, with a texture somewhere between silk and morning dew. "I wish for someone to love Mama the way she deserves," he read proudly, the words shimmering in the air. "See? The jar is magic, just like I always told you." I gathered him in my arms, breathing in the sweet mixture of cookie-scented shampoo and ever-present jasmine. His small body fitted against mine perfectly, his little heart beating a rhythm that matched my own. "You know what, sweetheart? I think you might be right, but the real magic isn't in the jar. It's in believing that good things are possible, even when they seem impossible." Carter looked up at me with that ancient wisdom that sometimes took my breath away. "That's why we keep wishing, right, Mama? Because anything can happen if you believe?" "That's right, baby." I kissed his forehead, thinking of Jacob's gentle hands and warm laugh, Luna's artistic spirit and generous heart, Mrs. Santos's timely kindness, and all the small miracles that had led us here. And sometimes, the most magical wishes are the ones we didn't even know we needed to make. Later that night, as moonlight painted silver patterns on my wall, I added a new wish to the jar. May our hearts always stay open to magic. The paper seemed to glow as it settled among the others, and I could have sworn I heard the faint sound of wind chimes again. Years have passed, and the wish jar still sits on Carter's bedside table, catching light and storing dreams. Some wishes still wait to unfold, while others have blossomed in ways we never expected. Now when Carter tells me the jar is magic, I don't just smile and nod. I believe him. Because magic isn't about getting exactly what you wish for. It's about being open to the possibility that life has something even better in store. As I write this final wish and watch it settle among the others, I feel the love that surrounds us. Carter's unwavering belief, Luna's creative spirit, Jacob's steady devotion, and the countless kindnesses that carried us through our darkest times. Perhaps that's the greatest magic of all. Not the granting of wishes, but the way hope can transform tears into starlight, strangers into family, and an ordinary glass jar into a vessel of infinite possibilities. The jar's soft glow fills our home now, a constant reminder that sometimes the most powerful magic comes not from supernatural forces, but from the simple act of believing in better days. Each night, as I watch Carter and Luna add their wishes to our collection, their hands intertwined and their eyes bright with shared secrets, I'm reminded that true magic lives in the quiet moments between heartbeats, in the space between wishes, and in the love that turns ordinary glass into a container of dreams. And in those moments, I know with absolute certainty that some wishes don't need a jar to come true. They just need hearts brave enough to believe in their own magic.